folks up in Michigan who actually are both veterans, and they run a horse rescue. They're part of a nationwide, like, certified network, right? Rescuing horses from kill pens, trying to save them and rehab them out, and things like that. They turned us on to, well, before I talk about that, again, sharing information. They wanted to start adding veterans to a therapy program that they were starting. And my wife and I sat down with him on the phone for probably 3 different times, a couple hours apiece, sharing the information. They turned us on to a lady who's a veteran, who is part of the same rescue network as they are in Texas, Hooker Equine Ranch. Now that really sounds like a funny name. She actually worked on and flew in Chinooks. Okay, you'd always see them in the Vietnam movies, right? The really big, kind of ugly helicopters with the two props
Yep.
on top of
Yep.
them, right? Well, that's a nickname for that helicopter, or hookers, because you could literally hook anything with them and fly it out somewhere. So that's where she came up with that. We adopted a gorgeous 6-year-old Arabian paint horse from them, who was a surrender. The lady that owned her had Alzheimer's, and Dakota was getting fed. Dakota wasn't getting fed. And so they surrendered her. They got her in good shape, and now we've got her. We have another veteran in California, tip of the hat to Jim. He had a Navy veteran. He had a little bit of a heart scare, and so it's time to downsize a little bit. He breeds quarter horses. And once we get things a little bit more established in Texas, he's going to bring out 3 quarter horses. So long story to get around to that, we're going to have 6 right off the bat. That being said, you throw a rock in Texas, you hit a horse. Okay, so we have numerous connections where we're going to have at least 20 to 30 horses on each property. So what does each property mean? Well, we have a very large grant that is coming our way. It should land very soon. And what it's going to allow us to do is put a minimum of 5 properties across the state of Texas doing what we do. Okay. The first couple are going to be in North Texas. Okay. North Texas, meaning the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. First one's 116 and change acres. It's got 47 stalls on it. You name it, it's got it. Okay. So there easily, we've got 30 horses going on the property. We're going to be offering trail rides and riding lessons that anybody can come pay and do. Helps bring revenue into the ranch while you're writing grants. We all know grants. I just filled in some information last night on a Texas Veterans Commission grant that I filed for back in November of last year. Just found out we got to the second stage, right? And then now we won't find out if we get it all the way until November. So look for the one that's number 14. That was the one we were on at the NASCAR Clash. Carl Long and Garage 66 Racing, absolutely awesome car. That was the full wrap car. That's in the Cup Series. If you can find the one for number 14, that's the Xfinity Series car. So trail rides, riding lessons. We've partnered up with another veteran nonprofit that's going to show us, how to grow your own food with hydroponics and aquaponics.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to hire veterans. Our hiring process, by the way, is 70% minimum of the community we're serving. So that has grown into the entire military community, okay, active duty, veteran, and immediate household family, Gold Star families that get left behind like there's no tomorrow, as well as first responders in their immediate household family. So that's going to be a lot of folks that we're going to need to hire. The biggest thing that's going to happen on the property is there's going to be a minimum of 20 to 40 cabins on almost every property. It depends on the size, but minimum 20, as high as 40, where honestly you can come pay and stay and play city slicker or want to be cowboy for a week, right? Or 4 veterans want to get together for a reunion. And this is why we're looking at Texas. I mean, one, God bless Texas. Why not? And two, it's the center of the country. It's a lot easier to get to Texas from a lot of places than it is get all the way down to Florida. So those, you can do that, but there's always going to be a select amount of cabins left open for a very select process where a veteran and their immediate household family can stay on property for up to a year on our nickel to get back on their feet. Okay. Get those job training skills from Hire Heroes USA. Work our program. They're not just getting 3 hots in a cot. It's not Club Med with horses. Okay. They're going to be mucking stalls and doing everything we do every single day. Show them how to manage money again, and the whole 9 yards. Get their benefits squared away. Dyer guest could tell you, just horror stories about the VA. Kyle's in a situation right now where he's at 90%, and he's got certified PTSD from a doctor that they sent him to, but then they sent him to another doctor and they said, oh no, you don't have PTSD, and he's fighting for his last 10%. So there's lots of things our veterans are struggling with, and we want to help with all of that. And that's just property one. We're going to have a special events division. That's property number two. Weddings, corporate events, you name it, right? If you want to pay to have a party, we're going to have a location for it. And again, that helps drive revenue into the Veterans Ranch as an overall mission, okay, in between everything else. That's just the first two locations. There will be a couple more in North Texas. Then we'll go down to South Texas and get into the San Antonio, Houston, Austin area with Military Central down there. You got Fort Hood. Good Lord, over in Houston, you got the Space Center. So, you got military heaven down there. There goes the voice. Excuse me. But really pumped and excited about this. It's really exciting. Like you said, it takes determination and patience. I put a new nose on every day because people go, what? I'm like, nose to the grindstone, baby, every day.
Yeah.
And you got to put a new nose on because you wore that one out, and you got to start over. Andy was Andy Frisella, the guy that started First Form Nutrition in St. Louis. Look him up. He's an unbelievable guy. Him and his brother literally grew up in the city of St. Louis. Okay. And, Dad knows this, but if you're from the city of St. Louis, you are some of the most hard-nosed sumbitch people you've ever met in your life, because North St. Louis City still looks like bombed out Beirut. And, they knew that they wanted to start a nutrition company that was better than all the garbage and all the crap full of fillers and everything that's on your, I'll just say, a GNC or Vitamin Shop shelves, right? They got an office that they slept in, okay, in the city of St. Louis, mattresses in the back, and it's now a multi-billion-dollar company. Okay, worldwide multi-billion-dollar company. Why? Because he absolutely refused to give up. Anybody had anything negative to say, add it on the chip to the shoulder and use it as fuel. You're crazy. You can't get that done. Add it to the fuel. You know how many times I've been told in almost 8 years, your goals are too high? Put it on the chip and add it for fuel, man. I'm telling you, when I tell people we needed $20 million for the first property, I found out real quick where their mindset was. Because if they went, holy crap, well, you'll never raise that much money, put it on the chip and add it for fuel, baby. I mean, we have just been, so that chip's taller than my hat right now, but things are starting to progress. So I say all that, I know I kind of sound like Tony Robbins here for a second, but, I say all that to say anybody out there, okay, if you're struggling with something, somebody needs to know what you know. If you're struggling with something, there's somebody doing worse than you that needs pulled out of that ditch, okay? Stick around. You're one of your prior guests, boy, and I say this all the time. Excuse me. Your kids need to be walked down the aisle. Your kids need to graduate and want to see their dad or their mom there. People need to know what you know. You have more knowledge to share than you realize.
Yet look, there is not a single person on this earth that's walking around with no value. It doesn't. uh, That's not. It's impossible. You've got something that someone needs. You've just got to stick around long enough, like you said. Look, life is short enough. You don't need to hurry it along. You don't need to do anything like this. JR, I'm sorry, I cannot find those pictures. I wish I could. If you send them to me again, I'll show them a little bit later. But, you
Yeah.
know, uh,
Pump your email in the chat. I'll drop them to you.
all right.
I sent you a DM.
Oh, okay. There we go.
See, Kyle's our technology guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, George Strait says it best. We ain't here for a long time. We're here for a good time, and you got to make it the best time you can. I added the last part.
Yeah. Well, I that's actually kind of funny. I was having a conversation yesterday about how, one of my favorite musicians kept screwing up the lyrics to the song that I wrote. I always did it right. They were the ones screwing it up. So,
Right, exactly. Yeah,
uh,
there's not a bad moon on the rise. It's a bathroom on the right.
that's right. Hey, look. Here's the truth. All right, if they can turn in the Garden of Eden into Indigata Devita, damn it, we can do our thing. All right.
That's right.
So, but yeah, that's still to me one of the funniest stories in the world. Yeah, we were just drinking so much that we went out to go and sing. Next thing we knew, we came up with this song in the God of the Beat. We were like, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
So, but anyway, here's the white one. Here's the actual horse. So,
yeah.
my version of a horse. But let's see here.
You should
Here
have
we
that
go.
email.
All right, let me get these up real quick before we. Oh, I guess I need to share it, huh?
There's one that's just got all five, and
Um. Oh, yeah. So here we go. All right, there on the hood. That's beautiful.
Yep, that was the Daytona car last week, and there you see Hire Heroes USA right there is right there on the side and the back. Yep, the ladies that we met, they were all veteran spouses that are all in the higher ups of this organization. So it's just amazing the people you meet in doing all this stuff, and they're from all over the country. Some of them were from Southern California, some were from Wisconsin. One was from Michigan. Kyle will appreciate this because he's from Michigan. Everybody from Michigan, they tell you where they're from because Michigan's shaped like a mitt, right? So she puts her hand up like this, and they all put the thumb out, and she goes, "Yeah, I'm from right up about here in Michigan."
all I know is that they say care.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a friend from Michigan who she could not say car. It was care. And I'm like, okay, you got to sing the Beatles song, "Baby, You Can Drive My Car." Yeah, I got to hear you say it. But so, hey
But yeah,
guys, um, I appreciate you all joining me. I really do. Mr. Smith, Kyle, thank you both very much for your service. We we're in a situation of freedom because of your dedication. Short time, it doesn't matter. You still signed a check to say, you know what, do with me as you will. And I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And I thank you for what you've done. JR, my friend, get some rest, get off your throat, you know, and hopefully next year, you can get back here and we can do this again. And next year we'll be a little further along. But you guys keep up the hard work. Again, you can support the Veterans Ranch simply by scanning the QR code in the corner and shopping with any of the partners that you can find on the link there. It's a very simple process, folks. You shop with them, you don't spend an additional dime. You just shop with them, take a picture of the receipt, send it to us, and say, I want to support the Veterans Ranch. They get 75% of whatever that company gives us. So continue to shop there. Continue to tell your friends. Let's get this going. Let's get this built because there are hardworking people out there doing good things. Gentlemen, again, thank you so very much.
Can I ask one favor? Can we
Yeah.
close out with the commercial I sent you?
Is that was that on the same email because I'm not
Yeah,
able to find that.
It
I
would have
yeah, it
been from
probably was.
JR.
Huh?
It would have been from JR, not from me.
Yeah, it would have been for me that I'd have sent you originally.
yeah, the one with the car on it. That's why I was saying I don't think
You can
I
find that
can't find
email. All right.
it's
I'll
brother. You know what? If you send it to me, I will play it. If you resend it, I'll play it a little bit later on.
You got it. I appreciate it. And brother, Zach mentioned it earlier. I'll just stop with this, but we met in, I think, 2020, 21, somewhere around there. And, we all came up with, some people aren't with us doing this anymore for obvious reasons. Zach knows what I'm talking about, but it was 222 for 22. It was just a unique thing that came up. And Zach said, I'm going to do a 22-hour podcast. And I'm like, yeah, what the hell?
Why not?
Why not? And was on it and, proud to still see you kicking with it, brother. And glad to be here today. I do more hours, but I don't know if my voice could carry it. But, just love what you're doing. And, we'll get you out to Texas on the ranch. And you know what? We'll do the podcast live from the ranch.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, like I said, I started this because God gifted me with three things: a big gut, a big butt, and a big mouth. And I can use one of them to benefit people. So I'll go on ahead and do that. Gentlemen, thank you so very much. And we will talk to you soon. Folks, we are starting another hour. We're moving along. So stick with us. We have to switch. So we're going to fade to black on this one. And then we're going to open up. So just refresh your page wherever you're at. Refresh your page. We'll be right back. Continue to support us. Continue to support organizations like the Veterans Ranch. Folks, it's good people doing really good things. And you all are amazing for watching us. Please refresh your page. Join us again. We'll be back in about 5 minutes on the other side. Thank you very much.
you got military heaven down there. There goes the voice. Excuse me. But really pumped and excited about this. It's really exciting. Like I said, it takes determination and patience. I put a new nose on every day because people go, what? I'm like, nose to the grindstone, baby, every day.
Yeah.
And you got to put a new nose on because you wore that one out, and you got to start over. Andy was Andy Frisella, the guy that started First Form Nutrition in St. Louis. Look him up. He's an unbelievable guy. Him and his brother literally grew up in the city of St. Louis. Okay, and Dad knows this, but if you're from the city of St. Louis, you are some of the most hard-nosed sumbitch people you've ever met in your life, because North St. Louis City still looks like bombed out Beirut. And they knew for them.
Right before we clicked record on
With a mission for Healthy Heroes, our goal is to talk alternatives, talk personal preference, talk about success. What works for you isn't always going to work for others. We ask you to join us if any of these sound familiar. Do you run activity programs? Activities like art therapy, music therapy, animal-assisted therapy, outdoor adventure programs, sports and fitness programs, gardening and horticulture programs. These programs have been proven to reduce stress and anxiety, boost mood and increase serotonin levels, improve social skills, and reduce feelings of isolation while enhancing self-esteem and creativity. They also provide a healthy outlet for emotional expression. What about a structured or heavily regimented program? These programs are designed to provide clear framework and routines that help individuals develop skills and stability in their mental health journey. Cognitive behavioral therapy, residential treatment programs, support groups with scheduled meetings, vocational training, and rehabilitation programs, or day treatment programs with partial hospitalization programs encourage accountability and regular participation. Help individuals establish daily routines for stability. They provide peer support and they reduce isolation. They also build life skills for long-term recovery while focusing on measurable progress. This next one comes with its fair share of controversy. Safe, controlled psychedelic treatments. These treatments use psychedelic substances in a controlled environment under medical supervision to address mental health challenges. Psilocybin therapy, MDMA, ketamine therapy, LSD microdosing programs, and therapeutic or ceremonial settings. The benefits are vast, including allowing patients to process deep-seated trauma. It improves emotional insight and understanding. It reduces symptoms of anxiety, depression, and PTSD. And it also promotes feelings of connection and empathy while catalyzing long-lasting behavior and emotional change. Our final example for this video is mindfulness retreat programs. Mindfulness retreat focus on deep relaxation, meditation, and self-awareness, often in serene and natural settings. Silent meditation retreats, mindful movement retreats, nature-based mindfulness retreats, healing wellness retreats, and mindfulness for trauma programs. They enhance self-awareness and emotional regulation. They reduce stress and improve focus. They boost resilience against depression and anxiety, promote physical relaxation and mental clarity, and encourage spiritual growth and inner peace. Is there something missing from this list? Tell us about your program and all the good that you're doing, working to support our heroes in their battles with mental health difficulties. If you scan the QR code below, it allows us to discuss how working together will help so many. Please join us on February 22nd for Mission for Healthy Heroes. Healthier tomorrows for our heroes today. Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channel. We are moving along. Let's see here. We are into hour 9. Oh, 9 of 22. That we're moving along. We're moving along. This next little hour and a half segment, I'm going to tell you something. If you've ever heard the term drinking from a water hose, yeah, we have guests every 15 minutes. So we are going to be talking and we're going to be getting as much information as we can. But you know what? That doesn't mean that you need to sit still. This QR code right here, this little guy right here, the little big guy, little big, whatever. I'm going to stop playing with him now. All right. But this QR code right here is your chance to tell your heroes, your first responders, your veterans, your whatever, we support you. Send a message to someone saying, damn it, we love what you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Send questions to us. If you want to be anonymous, maybe it's something that you're just wondering about, but you don't want people to know who you are. Send us the question. Here's the thing. Every time you send us a form, you're in a drawing to win some really cool prizes, like Thomas McNicholas, who sent us a simple message. Thank you for your service. He also attached a $10 donation, which we greatly appreciate. Thank you very much, Thomas. Thomas, for you sending in this message and supporting what we're doing, we're sending you a 1-year subscription to a For My Card. You can see what For My Card is if you scan this QR code, because that's my For My Card. Coming up right now is Dr. or Professor Dr. George Grant. Sir, you really like having a lot of names. How are
Thank you.
you doing today?
I'm doing great, Zach. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Do me a favor. Tell us a little bit about what you've got going on. What are some of the things that you're doing, and how can we support you?
Thank you so much, Zach. So we have 5 hours here, or only 5 minutes?
Yeah, well, we got about we got about 15 minutes. We've only got 15 minutes. I got a little bit longer to go.
All right. Thank you, Zach. My name is Dr. George Grant, and I've been doing what I'm doing now for 50 years. Yes, I'm 74 and a half. I'm going to be 3/4 century and 75 by the end of April, in about 2 months or so. And I've been doing everything here to help my clients, because when I was 18 years young, Zach, I lost my mom at age 45 years young, half her projected age, from diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. We call it diabesity now. And I lost my dad at 60. I've never seen my grandparents. They died between 55 and 59. Never seen any one of them. So I committed at age 18 to become a victor, not a victim. So I studied 3 bachelor's degrees, 3 masters, and only 3 doctorate degrees, because I'm still learning about all of the stuff to focus on prevention, not intervention, self-care instead of crisis care. So this is what I've been doing now for the past 50 plus years, and helping 40,000 clients, Zach, all over the world, across Canada, across the US, Australia, New Zealand, and basically Europe, and across the world. So everything you need to know about me, but you're afraid to ask, is at academyofwellness.com. So the biggest challenge we have right now, Zach, is to prevent and reverse diabetes. This is the combination of diabetes and obesity. It's becoming now an epidemic, almost surpassing heart attack and stroke as number 1 killer. It's very hidden here, and it's just like, hopefully all of your listeners do not have any of these conditions. And if they do, we offer them a way to detect and correct the lifestyle. Nothing can fix poor lifestyle. Your eating habits, drinking habits, sleeping habits, exercise habits. This is what we talk about, because nothing can fix poor lifestyle. Nothing. I do not know of anything in my career for 50 years to fix poor lifestyle. So how do you fix lifestyle? It takes 2 minutes, Zach. Just go to academyofwellness.com and complete lifestyle quiz. It takes only really 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes maximum to finish 10 questions. Every question is out of 10, so it's total 100. So I've done this with my 40,000 clients, and the average score I've got, Zach, 55%. So they need some help. I've got a client who had a score of 33%. He was type 2 diabetes, suffering for 10 years, taking 10 medications. And I said, what is your score? He said 33%. I said, okay, let's work on that. Forget about the 10 medications, because the lowest blood sugar he got from 450 is 370 with all of the 10 meds. So obviously the medication was suppressing his symptom, but did not fix his lifestyle. As soon as we fix his lifestyle, within 3 months, his blood sugar, Zach, dropped to 90 to 95. And his A1C dropped from double figures to under 6.5. He has released 33 pounds, and his lifestyle IQ quiz in 3 months is 88%. 88.
Wow.
So you can see here, he has no diabetes, and he was scheduled for amputation. The amputation is canceled. No diabetes, no amputation, by fixing his lifestyle. So I'm not against medications. If you're taking medications, keep taking, listen to your physician and take it. But just remember, it does only suppress your symptom until you fix your lifestyle. But if you do help yourself to improve your lifestyle and take the medications, that would be much better. So Jeremy now is not taking any medication. He's very healthy. He was scheduled for amputation. This canceled. No medication now. His blood sugar 90, 95. Is healthy. You know, Zach, if I tell you we have thousands of clients like this, Anybody listening to your podcast right now who have a challenge, we can detect it and correct it. How? Lifestyle, number one. Number two, we have this wonderful app called virtual voice scan. So I inviting all of your viewers and all of the people I'm listening to this to do the lifestyle quiz and do this scan to detect and correct their voice frequency, and then we can see exactly what is the root cause, or what is the red flag that correlates with blood test, correlates with MRI, PET scan, CT scan, ultrasound. And this, I have published 10 papers, Zach, on it in the medical literature. So this is correlated to blood test and MRI. No question about the validity of it. So I invite your clients to go to academyofwellness.com and book a session with me. It takes only 30 minutes. And the lifestyle quiz, you check 2 minutes to reverse any condition within 90 days. That's what I do, Zach, in less than 5 minutes.
Take a breath. Yeah, you did great, Doc. One of the problems, and my wife and I have both talked about this. We obviously we're getting older. For some reason, that getting younger thing, it just hasn't worked out the way that we were hoping it was going to. But yeah, so we're getting older. We both work from home.
Yes.
Okay, we both are sitting here all the time. I'm on the computer, she's on the computer. When we're not talking to someone, it's almost like smoking.
Yes.
When I quit smoking,
Yes.
it wasn't the smoking that I had the worst problem with. It was having something in my hands and putting it to my mouth.
Exactly.
I started swallowing candy bars like they were cigarettes. And I ended up packing on twice my weight when I did that.
Yeah, exactly.
What is a good way to fix that lifestyle? What's a good alternative rather than me shoving more candy bars in my fat mouth?
Actually, you know what, Zach? It's a very simple habits that we can reverse. So instead of smoking something like this, you can just put a toothpick. And then once you have something in your mouth, you're able to reverse your aging. So I recommend for you, just email me. I'll send you a copy of this book here. And any one of your listener interested to get a copy of this e-copy, I'm happy to send it to them. How to actually live healthy till the age of 101, even 111, or even 121, by keeping a healthy lifestyle. Because now we agreed that nothing can fix poor lifestyle. What you just mentioned, Zach, is a new disease called setitis, sitting on your butt all day long for 8 hours or 10 hours a day. I had this condition, but I found a way to reverse it. It's a very simple, Zach. Every hour, take 2 minutes to get up from your seat and just walk for 2 minutes and come back and do some stretching. So this is actually reconditioning your body, and instead of sitting all day long doing podcasts and TV and all of this stuff, every hour just take just 2 minutes and do some belly breathing. Could you believe, Zach? My 40,000 clients, 95%, they do not know how to do deep belly breathing. You can call it belly breathing, yoga breathing, diaphragm breathing, breathing from the not from the chest, from the stomach, from the belly. So
Yeah, breathing exercises is a relatively popular term right now.
absolutely. So this is really the key here is every hour you take 5 deep belly breaths, not from the chest, from the belly. It's really simple process to get your oxygen to your brain. And then once the brain gets the oxygen, you have no fatigue, then you have no snoring at night, you have no sleep apnea, and then you have no dementia. Now, dementia, I wrote down about it, is type 3 diabetes, and it's proven now in the literature, anybody with sugar problems is going to end up with dementia and with amnesia and eventually Alzheimer. So by doing the 5 belly breath every hour, stretching for just a couple minutes, coming out of your chair and walk, that is a solution now for everybody doing work from home, Zach.
That's I love it, and I've got this written down that I'm going to be getting a hold of you, Doc. I'd like to get you on when we have a little bit more time to talk. Obviously, 22-hour podcast, but everybody decided that they wanted to come on this hour, so
I
I
know.
do apologize for the shorter amount of
No,
time.
that's okay,
But
Zach. But you know what? On my website, Zach, academyofwellness.com, there's a whole hour on lifestyle with one of my healing wizards from Australia. His name is Paul Staten. There's a whole hour on it. People can learn about lifestyle in a whole hour interview. And then I'm demonstrating how this detect a correct lifestyle. So I advise your busy followers and people listening to this podcast and yourself to book a session with me for 30 minutes, and then we're going to go with you and your wife about how we detect and correct all of this lifestyle issues with your clients. And then guess what? All we need now is referrals, because I want to go from 40,000 currently to 80,000 if God give me another 25 years to live till the age of 100 to help them. I don't want to see any teenagers, Zach, losing their mom at age 18 or losing
Yeah.
their dad at age 22. Thank you so much for the
Yeah.
invitation. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
One last thing before I unfortunately have to cut you off. What is in your mind, in your words, what is the importance of your physical health for your mental health?
Extremely important. There is no mental health without physical health. We call it PMS: physical, mental, and spiritual health. These are the three dimensions in health. Let your food be your medicine, and medicine be your food. And you got to know what you eat, what you do not eat, and what's eating you for stress. This is what actually makes the physical health. No substitute for walking 1 hour a day. There's nothing, there's no pill. You cannot take Ozempic substitute or any GLP substitute for lack of exercise. Nothing that I know of. Just take, and instead of 1 hour, take half an hour. Start even with 15 minutes. Start with that, and then 20 minutes, and then 30 minutes, and go to 1 hour. Baby steps. And then, you know what? Once you eat the proper stuff, you do the lifestyle IQ, eating your 9 vegetables and 2 fruits, and then eating the healthy stuff, and avoid anything to cause you food allergy. And that's what we detected here, Zach, with that test, which I'm going to do for you and your wife to see what caused you all of the allergies. Most people have allergy toward dairy, and most people have allergy toward the gluten. So if you cut back on gluten and on the grains and stuff and on the dairy, it's really simple process from there on. But we have to know what is bothering you physically that can affect your mental stress. And by the way, gut health is brain health. So once you have your healthy gut, you're going to have your healthy brain. How are you going to have healthy gut? Healthy eating habits, drinking habits. I hope your clients who are listening to us drinking water, because our body is 70% water, not 70% soda, not 70% alcohol, not 70% caffeine. So we have to cut back on the bad stuff and increase the good stuff. Water, simple, water and
Yeah.
breathing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
common
That
sense.
it does make a lot of sense. Granted, I'm pretty sure that my wife is sitting in the other room, kind of going, "Are you listening to this, Zach? Are you listening to this, Zach?" Because I'm not very good at drinking water. I will admit. Okay, no, I'm terrible at drinking
Keep
water.
it,
I,
keep
I
it beside you and just take it and sip every 15 minutes. Just take a small sip.
yeah.
Healthy habits will make healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy living till age of 100, 111. Zach.
Well, you know what, Dr. George Grant has been joining us. If you look on the description of this segment, you can find his LinkedIn page where you can go and you can find everything about Dr. Grant. What's your website one more time?
academyofwellness.com. Very simple. academyofwellness.com. It's on LinkedIn. I am on Alignable. I am on Facebook. I am on X. I am on Instagram. You're going to find me very easily by just typing my name or type Academy of Wellness and connect with me. Join me for free, 30 minutes. Pick my brain. And if I do not know the answer, I'll find somebody with more than 3 doctorate degrees to help you to get the answer. Okay?
That sounds great. And you know what, Doc? I will reach out to you sometime next week. I
Please.
want to thank you very much for being part of Mission for Healthy Heroes. Thank you, sir. We will talk to you very soon.
Thank you, Zach. Looking forward to talk to you. Bye
All
bye.
right. Goodbye. Wow. I feel so bad doing this, but like I said, it was everybody came at the exact same time, you know. So it is. There was the first part of the fire hose, and here comes Diane. Diane, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful, wonderful. Nice to see you, Zach.
It's good to see you again. It's you and I had a wonderful conversation earlier. Was it last week or yeah, we
I think
about a week ago? Yeah, well,
Yeah, there you
vague.
go. I know. Time flies. Yes, it does.
So
Yes, it does. No doubt.
you also have another you have a lot of stuff going on, but one of the things that you like to tell people is and make sure that they understand about this is what's called redox. Can you explain this?
Yes. So, redox is something that happens in our bodies at the cellular level. When you are in a redox state, your reductants and your oxidants are balanced, then you're healthy as a horse. But when they are not balanced, Zach, all kinds of bad things happen. And how do the redox cellular state, how does that get out of balance? It's called the junk in our system. It's called the junk in our system. There's all kinds of names. I call it pills, poisons, and parasites. So when we are out of balance, because cells are the underlying foundation of every organ, every system in our body, then what happens with a lot of us, we have been trained that a symptom needs a medication. And so, with that medication addressing a symptom, not the cause, oftentimes it that medication will create another symptom for
Yeah.
another medication. Okay, so I call it the SMS cycle, the symptom, medication, symptom. And I wished I would have bought stock in pill boxes about 30 years ago because we have all those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday pill boxes to keep it all straight. The bottom line is, and I co-authored a book, as you know, Zach, called Let It. The body can heal itself given the proper environment. And what we're not trained to do is to pay attention to what we eat, how we hydrate, and how we exercise, manage stress, get our rest. We're not trained to do all those things so that we can allow the body to heal itself before these symptoms continue. So, part of understanding how to get back to a redox state is addressing those five pillars of health first: nutrition, hydration, rest, stress, and movement. But then we go after the junk that's in our system. Where does the junk come from? Is it the way we're eating? Is it the pills we're taking? And that's a dicey one. I think I might have shared with you, Zach, that just 3.5 years ago, my own daughter, my own blood daughter, was on 24 to 26
Yeah.
meds a day while under doctor's orders.
Yeah.
And she couldn't function. I mean, her brain didn't work. She couldn't work outside of her home. She couldn't even work inside of her home. She was nervous, high strung, couldn't sleep, and smoking and drinking out of boredom. And it was a radical mess. And that's when I found cell signaling molecules, the understanding of cell signaling molecules. And if we go just age alone, we stop producing as many of these cell signaling molecules as we need. So, without getting too scientific, I mean, the bottom line is every one of those pills was addressing a symptom, not the cause. So the first thing we had to do, Zach, was to look at the ingredients of the pills and determine, do we need doctor's help to get off of this? Because I'm not a doctor like your previous guest. I don't know all of the ins and outs of what the drugs do, but I do know that there are some things that we can get off of on our own and some things that we really need to be under doctor scrutiny in order to do that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And if you don't mind, and because he's still sitting in the back room, I'm going to bring Doctor back on. Dr. Grant, and I had to pause you or mute you. Please unmute. But I tried to hurry you, not on purpose, but I tried to hurry you out of the room. But I swear to God, we just heard the same thing twice, didn't we?
Oh,
So it's two different. You're still muted, Dr. Grant.
hmm.
Here, let me try to.
I think
There
I
you
got it.
go.
Yeah,
There you go.
I fully agree with what Diana, was saying here. 100% agreement with her, because I had similar experience here, Diane, with somebody who was taking 28 medications,
Yeah,
28 medications, and two bypass and two stents, because he had 99% clogged arteries. So you know what? It's warranted. If I had 99% clogged arteries, I listen to my cardiologist. I'll be taking that. The problem is you've been taking it for 20 years and no
yeah,
change, and he was sent to hospice to die in 1998. So, Diane, what you said is absolutely correct. What happened to your daughter here? Because we helped this guy to improve his lifestyle. He has very poor lifestyle here. I asked him, what is it that you eat? He said, oh, nothing. It's just bacon and eggs. I said, you eat bacon and eggs for breakfast for how long? He said, for 20 years. I said, but you have 99% clogged arteries. You cannot have bacon. It's very fatty. He said, they told me it's okay. I said, okay, well, how much water do you drink? He said, I drink diet soda. I said, you cannot drink diet soda when you have diabetes. They told me it's approved by FDA. I happen to work with the FDA and CDC and Health Canada. I said, diet soda is not safe for diabetics. Anyway, I agree with you, Diana, 100%, because that's what happened to improve his lifestyle. Within 6 months, look what he did with your daughter. No meds, no bypass, and no medications. And then he's gonna
yeah,
help you. Guess what? You're not gonna be believing this, Diane and Zach. He's still alive at 103 from 1998 with no medications. What you've done for your daughter is heroic. You're among my heroes. And Zach is among my heroes because
oh,
he bring us on the same stage to tell people medication is only a temporary fix to fix symptoms.
Yeah,
But I agree with you. You gotta
t-
fix
you
oxidative
know,
system.
I'm
tell us a
humbled
little bit
and
about. Yeah, go on ahead and say what you were going to say, Diane. But then tell us a little bit about ASEA, and let us know
yeah,
what you discovered with ASEA, and tell us some more about it, please.
sure. First of all, I'm humbled and honored that Dr. Grant, with all of his degrees, um, supports my efforts and what I'm
Ah,
saying. Oh, and he's an ASEA user too. I love it. I love it. Um, that's wonderful. Yeah. But we teach people not to drink out of the bottle, Dr. Grant, because
I
of
know.
the shame on you. But I will say this, there's a lot of doctors that don't agree because they're um, unfortunately that's what they were trained to do, is to understand the pharmaceuticals that are available to treat the symptoms, and they don't look at the body as a whole. And one of the things that in it really was an honor and a privilege to work with my daughter for the last 3.5 years, but I will tell you, she was ready. Number one, you had the participant has to be in the frame of mind that they're ready. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they're
yep.
ready. So when we started systematically taking her off of each and every drug, before we accomplished getting off of all 26 of them, 16 of them, by the way, were opioids that she should have been dead. Um, Changed her eating habits, got her on ASEA, which is ASEA is the catalyst that repairs and repairs damaged cells, replaces the cells it can't repair, and it brings your cell signaling back up. Now, let me, Zach, just quickly explain the importance of cell signaling. You can go about 30 days without food, maybe 3 days without water, maybe 3 minutes without air. You can't go 3 seconds without cell signaling. When did we ever learn that? So, right? Cell
Not even in
signaling,
science class did you ever hear anything like that.
not even in science class. So because cells are the underlying foundation of every organ, every system in our body, and they signal to each other that allows us to move our mouth, move our fingers. It's the color of our hair, our eyes. It's everything. Cell signaling is everything. Just with age alone, our body has a reduced capacity to produce the cell signaling, and cell signaling is produced in every single cell, in the energy plant or the mitochondria of the cell. My gosh, it's gratifying to have a degreed doctor agreeing with me, because I'm telling you, I've argued with many of them who just think I am a whack job, and the only doctor I have in my name is my first and last initial, Dr. That's it. But I mean, so it's very gratifying. So thank you, Dr. Grant. But um, when when this cell signaling gets reduced by age alone, now add stress, trauma, and disease. And man, it just goes way down, which is why people don't get off the sofa for 20 years. They can't get well. They can't get better because this cell signaling is reduced, and then we continue to put more poisons in them, which they're going to get without pills. They're going to get it from the air they breathe, the water they drink, the food they eat. So you add all of that into a system that's already has reduced capacity. And by the way, when your cells are signaling property, your glutathione, the master antioxidant from the liver, is producing at a rate necessary for the body. ASEA not only repairs and replaces cells, but it increases that glutathione production as well. So, what is ASEA made out of? God made us using salt and water. And taste your tears if you don't think that's a fact. So, salt and water is what's used to run through this energy plant to produce these fleeting bits of energy that are called cell signaling molecules. Zach, it's the equivalent of trying to, grab a hold of the sparks that can start a fire. They're just, they're gone before you can hold on to them. So the science health breakthrough, the miracle of that breakthrough, was being able to take those cell signaling molecules, those fleeting bits of energy, and stabilize them in a big blue bottle that you saw Dr. Grant hold up, stabilize them in that bottle, and give them a shelf life. They said
Yeah.
it couldn't be done. They said it absolutely could not be done. So not only has it been done, but it's changing lives in 34 countries around the world for 14 years, and very few people know about it. Really, less than 2% of people in the world know about it. So if that's what helped reduce the cessation for smoking, for drinking, which helped her get off of sugar, which helped a lot of things. But there was still a component that I was missing. And again, going back to the Lord in prayer, I'm like, okay, if inflammation is the cause for most all disease, what causes the inflammation? Where
Free
does it
radicals.
start?
Free
Yeah.
radicals.
And so he got me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, chemicals, heavy metals,
Pesticides.
parasites. Yeah. So I'm like cramming on the keyboard. I'm like, what are you talking about? Parasites? What are you talking about? And I have gone down a path of parasites like you can't believe. In fact, my next book will be called Pills, Poisons, and Parasites. And it's all about what's in our body that no doctor will most now I don't have to say no because he's even nodding his head about parasites, Zach. I'm just so excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
They look at me like I am the craziest person in the world when I said, I had to have some stomach surgery in June. They had to cut out some intestine that was blocked. I said, take pictures. I want to see what's in there. And he goes, what? Why do you want pictures? And what are you looking for? And I said, parasites. And he goes, that's not a thing. in the US. I'm like, where are you from? Right? So I mean 6 doctors over the last 6 months, and not a one of them thinks I'm anything but an old lady lunatic. I'm telling you, Zach, the next thing we did with her was we put her on an extensive parasitical cleansing, heavy metal cleansing, and again with products like ASEA that I can't hurt anybody with because I'm not even a scientist. I'm a researcher. And I know enough to know that whatever I share with people, number one, my daughter and I are the first guinea pigs. We're still alive to talk about it. And number two, they have to work at the cellular level because that's the cause. That's where everything starts.
Yeah.
And number three, it can't interfere with existing meds. And it has to be, you know, not taking away from, say, for example, if somebody's on insulin for type 1 diabetes, I can't be known to interfere with that and cause more problems, right? So non-toxic, doesn't interfere with existing meds, but getting the garbage out and restoring the cellular um, capacity to produce these molecules, then the body can heal itself. And did I say that ASEA is made out of salt and water? Which is
Yes.
why it took people a long time to figure out salt and water. Are you kidding me? No, you go pour some salt in a glass of water and put a rose in it, and then do the same thing with ASEA. Put a little bit in a glass and put another rose in that one. See which one dies shortly. So yes, we start with salt and water because that's what the body uses, but it's not salt water when you're drinking it. It's changed into these molecules.
Well, I Doc, I appreciate you coming back on. Like I said, I was listening to Diane talk and I was looking at you and you were agreeing with everything she was saying. So I was like, you know what? We're going to put them together because I think it works perfect. I appreciate both of you. I appreciate your time so much. Hey, everybody, we need you to start scanning the QR code in Diane's magic square there and leaving comments. Okay, leave a statement to our heroes. Leave encouragement. If you want, please donate. But every time you leave a statement or donate or whatever you're going to do, if you have a question, you can use that box for questions. Scan that code, leave a comment, leave a question, whatever, and you could win a prize. All our some of our guests are leaving gifts with us that we are giving away throughout the day. So please scan the QR code, fill it out, donate if you can, but it's not that. Look, this isn't a state lottery, no purchase necessary. So just leave a comment, fill out the form, and you know what? You could win a prize. Both of you, I appreciate your time today. I hope you both have a great rest of your day. And more than that, thank you so very much for being part of a mission for healthy heroes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
All
Appreciate it.
right, we will talk to you both later in the week.
Okay.
All right,
You will.
goodbye.
Bye.
So that was again so much information, everything, and again, two in a row right there. Without physical health, you cannot have mental health. And I've said this a lot throughout all of this stuff, throughout doing all this, that honestly, when I was hurting, when I had that pain after the motorcycle accident, the head, them not finding the broken neck for 3 years, this was all things that it hurt. And it made me, it was depressing. And it was bringing me down. It ruined relationships. It ruined friendships. Because when your body fails, everything fails. Your mind fails. When your mind fails, you fail. So again, we are throwing anything and everything out there because you know what? It may be what you need. It doesn't particularly mean that you need to try this. We're not telling you to try anything. We're telling you these are out here. Diane can be there for you. Dr. Grant can be there for you. They're all sitting here saying, if you need to talk, let's talk. Again, you can find the information for all of our guests. You can find their LinkedIn tags. Sorry, lost my mind there for a little bit. You can find their LinkedIn tags right there in the chat attached to this video. So go on there and check them out. Go on to LinkedIn, follow them, become friends with them, have conversations. You don't know what these conversations are going to lead to. And more than that, you don't know whose life you can change with these conversations. Again, where it's something that I may not want for me. I may not like for me. That doesn't mean I'm going to run into somebody later on today that I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I was talking to somebody, they had this, they had this product, they had this program. With what you said, it sounded like it might be interesting to you. It could change their lives. It could make their lives so much better. All we have to do is listen to them, listen to ourselves, and listen to the people who know more than we do. Not very many of us are 16, so we don't know everything anymore. We realize that now. When we get older, as I said earlier, I wish I knew as much as I knew when I was 16. I knew everything when I was 16. So, once again, I want to thank you all for joining us for a mission for healthy heroes. Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners, which are trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any of the partners that resonate with you. Click a picture of the receipt or invoice, then pick the mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send the receipt directly to us. After that, all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchases, knowing that you've made a meaningful change for someone in need. Community Pay It Forward amplifies your business's impact by sharing the story of those who require your services, rallying support for those who need us all. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Well, I really should be a little more proactive and go back through and change my logo where it needs it. That's obviously the old logo. We did change it at the beginning of the year. We now have a green color to it. Not for any particular reason, except for when I created that logo, I put the colors together that really looked good. They popped. They were great. They were awesome colors. That brown and gold, it was fantastic. It was just great. It's my high school colors. You got to be kidding me. So I wait and decide, you know what? No, this isn't going to work. I'm not going to sit there and go with the brown and gold because every time I look at it, it takes me back to high school or the CU Buffs. I'm in Colorado. I am not a CU Buffs fan. So I take it, I'm like, okay, what other colors go together? Well, my favorite color is green. So, okay, we'll do green and gold. Take and walk outside, and the first thing I see is the flag for the CSU Rams. Well, I like the CSU Rams, so that's going to stick. Hey, everybody, welcome to Mission for Healthy Heroes. Thank you very much for taking and spending some time with us today. We are able to do what we are able to do